people up ahead. Something's wrong.
I don't know. You're a true soul. You can't die. Please, stay with us.
I don't think he's conscious. Can you hear us, Ed?
You, not a step closer.
A strange symbol glows marked on their flesh, and something within you stirs in response.
He's hurt badly. An owlbear got him deep. If there's anything you can do...
I'm watching you.
The injured man locks eyes with you. A familiar squirming churns in your head. Useless. Your minds intertwine. You see his siblings, Andric and Brynna, new recruits. Yours to shepherd.
Protect them. He's a true soul. Mind him. He will...
Edwin! Ed! Please!
He's with the Absolute now. You're a true soul. Edwin, our brother, he was chosen. Like you. Do you have orders for us? We were reporting to Edwin. We know that all too well, sir, but the Absolute sent us here.
We're looking for fugitives, survivors from that ship that crashed farther west of here.
What?
It killed one of us. It killed Edwin. It's an enemy of the Absolute. You're right, sir. The beast must be destroyed.
The cave is just ahead. It was too much for us before, but if you could help us, True Soul, we may stand a chance.
True soul? Absolute? What did they mean?
They're devoted to this absolute, whatever it is.
Tell me, Gale, what is your interest in the astral plane?
Time. Or rather, the absence of it. In the astral plane, everything is
It'll be my home soon enough, should Vlaakith will it.
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Your limbs move of their own accord. There's something of value here, something your mind craves. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you. No use. Compulsion takes over. Your actions are no longer your own.
Abandon their hosts as soon as they need to. Vile parasites.
Let's forget it for now. The less I think about that thing swimming about in my skull, the happier I'll be. I am enjoying our walks together. Aren't you, Gale?
Sure. In silence.
Owlbear tracks. Its nest must be nearby.
Doing the right thing.
You've a particular way with words, Gale. Perhaps oration suits you more than battle.
They're not mutually exclusive. Weave is served best with a dash of elements.
Always a pleasure.
Speak. Chook. You believe you can survive without me? As you say, do not keep me waiting.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey. All right, some company wouldn't hurt on the road, especially if there's trouble.
So, do you have loves waiting for you once this is all over?
You know what? That is not the easiest of questions for me to answer.
You mean just waiting? Like a lovesick puppy? Short-term amusements are much less hassle.
Here goes nothing. stench. Dead owlbear prey, no doubt.
Selûne statue in a stinking cave. Hardly a place of honor.
There's magic keeping this chest sealed. I can feel its aura. Yield its contents easily. That might be worth a look. A prayer sheet with the same symbol as the one on the chest.
The air is ripe with magic.
Never a dull moment. More for me.
Praying could be useful. I would have started years ago.
Is that blood? No, never mind.
You should leave it, or even destroy it if possible. This rubbish is an offering to Selûne. At best, it's worthless. At worst, who knows? Could be cursed. Do not trifle with that moon witch, or her trinkets. Only trouble will follow. Should have stayed quiet. You want the truth? Fine. I worship Shar, Mistress of the Night, Selûne's twin and foe. Now that you have the truth, please don't make a big fuss about it.
Heavens forbid. We're all entitled to our secrets.
Forever, ideally. And you assume too much about what I can and cannot tell. Secrecy is everything for Shar's children. It is our code, our creed, our shield. I even keep secrets from myself. I had my memories suppressed, so that nothing I know could be used against the Dark Lady. Once I prove myself, my memories will be restored. I'm not sorry I kept this from you. Not one bit. Though, perhaps that might change, if you can show an open mind. Talk to me later. We've got more pressing matters to see to right now. Selûne, I coming of age rites. Barbaric nonsense.
Careful, I bite.
Can't give up now. Moving ahead.
You feel the quake of its heavy footsteps before you see it. An owlbear, its beaked face looming out of the darkness.
What's this? Something weak, something tender. Won't even have to chew you before I feed you to my son. Soft meat. It's a splinter. I've gutted bigger threats than you with worse. You're small, weak. Killing you would be a waste of time. You can go, but you make one wrong step and I'll rip you to shreds.
Owlbear eggshells. An unhatched one would fetch quite a price.
You know what I really miss about Baldur's Gate? The food. Freshest fish I've ever had.
I don't care for fish. Red meat, now, that's a different matter. Rare as can be. Dripping.
Well, unless we find a cure, you won't have any teeth to chew it with soon enough.
Better not be cursed.
An empty mind flare vessel. If its occupant survived, they're nowhere to be seen.
seem to know a good deal about our condition, Gale.
Everything, really. Not to put too fine a point on it.
A humble specimen, aren't you?
On occasion.
Don't mind if I do. Strange. It looks healthy, but it's stone dead.
Who cares about some pig? It's dead. Let's go. The pig's dead, my friend. Staring at it won't bring it back. Come on. We'll never fix these brainworms if we stop and gawk at every piece of carrion you find.
The boar seems to be fresh, only a few hours dead. Examining the corpse, you see 2 small puncture wounds in its neck.
And is it dead enough for you? It's been drained of blood with wounds in its neck. It's been killed by a vampire. I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to worry you. They are ferocious creatures. But don't worry. I'll keep watch tonight. We won't have to worry about nocturnal visitors. Now please, let's go.
Let's have a look. West, Baldur's Gate. East, El Turel.
Do you have someone waiting for you in Baldur's Gate, Astarion? A sweetheart, perhaps?
Not one in particular. The city is a veritable feast of sweethearts.
You must be eager to get back, then. Slimmer pickings out in this wilderness.
Seems like a good moment to talk.
Thought you was busy with the foul bloods in Elson's Grove. Not no more. The contract didn't mention no goblins. I would have prepped the lads, bought better weapons. The kind that leaves half your crew dead. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic, supposedly buried round these parts. But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it. Have at it, if you think you can do better. It's called the Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you a map of the temple and wish you a happy funeral. But my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own sodger. Goblins made short of the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. Can show you where we turn back. if you feel like dying. As soon as he heard we had a contract to find that Night Song relic, he was more eager than a hound in heat. When the goblins jumped us, most of my crew scarpered, just like I taught them to. The old codger didn't. I'm just glad to be rid of the bloody thing. Happy hunting. Come on. We're wasting time.
You seemed quite forward with your compliments earlier. We'd only just met.
Seize the day, I say. More now than ever.
Careful you don't pull a muscle in the legs.
Something over there.
Lads, for the love of all that is holy, I've never clapped eyes on your poor sister.
Drop the act, hag. You was the last to see Mayrina.
Just let her go. Please.
Thank goodness you're here, sweetie. I don't know what's come over these boys.
Stop this! We won't ask again!
Careful! Don't trust a word out of her mouth. Our sister went to the hag, and we ain't seen her since.
Hand over heart, I don't know their sister. I will gladly help you all look for her, though.
Enough. Where is she?
Bollocks! You were supposed to rush to my defense, love. Fat lot of good you are. Some advice? You ever darken my door, you'd best have that head bowed and an apology at the ready. Bye-bye now.
Bloody hells. She just disappeared. Ain't seen nothing like that before.
She could shoot fireworks out of her backside for all I care. The hag has Rena!
It's our sister, Mayrina. She's... well...
She was in a bad way after her husband died.
Started saying weird things, like how she was gonna bring him back.
Next thing, she's gone looking for the hag. Of all the stupid things to do. And we haven't seen her since. And no good ever came from dealing with a hag.
None of this matters, all right? We need to get her back, and fast! I don't remember bloody asking you.
Hold on, Joel. Let him talk. What would you suggest?
Knew it. You're full of it.
Thanks for the, advice. But we can't do that. We'll head there on our own.
A chill runs up your spine. You feel like you're being watched. The place has a quiet sense of calm. You can't see anything strange.
Traps. How considerate.
Ah, a fellow wanderer. Forgive the aroma.
You catch a waft of something foul, metallic, and sickly sweet.
Powdered iron vine. Most monsters will think twice before making a meal of me. An old hunter's trick. If you can't mask your scent, spoil it. Ha! A quick wit is rare indeed. Good manners, however. All beings can aspire to. I suggest you find yours before dealing with the lady of this house. That is why you came to her lair, I take it. To bargain. A charming sight, to be sure. But the prettiest web still has a spider sitting at its center. Her kind have hidden among us since the first darkness. And their knowledge is matched only by their spite. Know how to ask, and they'll share that knowledge. If you're fool enough to pay their price. Of course, I'm a hunter who lost his prey, and here I am seeking help from something worse. But she thrives on suffering. Once she hears what awaits my quarry when I catch him, She will help. Truth is like a blade, my friend. We can arm ourselves with it, or just as easily find it pressed against our throat. I would not put you in danger. No, this duty is mine alone. But for such an offer, an answer at least is owed. I hunt a vampire spawn called Astarion. I'm bound to bring him back to Baldur's Gate, alive. Though I cannot swear to his condition once my tribe are done with him. Is he known to you? So you have met him? His kind have charm, beyond our mortal means to resist. But you're right. He's no true vampire. Not yet. I don't suppose you'll tell me where he is. As you say, then I must redouble my efforts and pray my delay costs no more lives.
Well, hello. What can I do for you? What? Who? What happened? A Gur? What are those vagabonds? Why would they... Cazador. Of course he'd send a Gur to hunt me down. Ah, yes. You don't know. Cazador is a slaver in Baldur's Gate. He captured me a long time ago. Insisted I call him Master. I only escaped when the Mind Flayers snatched me away from him. I shouldn't be surprised Cazador's hunting me. He always was quite, obsessive. Well, of course he did. I'm hunting a poor innocent for money isn't exactly going to win sympathy, is it? No. I'm here to save you from a monstrous vampire. That's much more convincing. It's nothing. They're not special. They're just easy to buy and morally vacuous. Perfect lackeys. But why send anyone after me? I'm hardly a threat out here. Maybe he wants to make an example of me, to show what happens to runaways. Or maybe he thinks death is too good for me. We just have to be vigilant, keep our wits about us, and kill any monster hunters on sight.
The sheep's voice warbles. You realize it's trying to say bar. The smell of rot assaults your senses as the illusion vanishes. A diminutive creature sporting a red hat glares at you. He seems unaware that his illusion has failed. That noise. Is the creature pretending to be a sheep?
Lady of Sorrows, guide us. Did you want something? I'm sure you do. But please try to understand that it's not something I can just talk about freely. Very well. Perhaps there's potential in you. Let's see how you handle this. I am indeed a disciple of Shar, Mistress of the Night and Lady of Loss. I assume you've heard of her? Well, if that troubles you, perhaps you should fetch the bailiff to arrest me. Ah, but there's no bailiff here, is there? Just leagues of wilderness and the dangers lurking within. We're in this together, but I'll happily go it alone. My faith will keep me company. You already know my biggest secrets. What more can you ask? What, besides my life's calling and the greatest problem I've ever faced? Well, I like night orchids and can't swim. Is that the sort of thing you meant? It's a deal. No, I can't. Quite literally, I mean. With my memory suppressed, I can't betray Shar's secrets. But I can't remember much of myself either. If I manage to return to Baldur's Gate and fulfill Shar's mission, then my memories will be restored. Of course. It is an act of faith, not to be undertaken lightly. Shar will reward me when I succeed. If you're sure. Fine. I'll be here whenever you rediscover your taste in company.
Well met. That's the spirit.
I hope you're not here to ask about Cazador. And curious you'll remain. The past is dead. I'm not about to exhume it when there's a nice, bright future ahead of me. Assuming we don't turn into mind flayers, of course. That might put a bit of a damper on things. The point is, I'm looking forward. Focusing on what's important for our future. Exactly. So, was there anything else?
Don't sleep well, flitting between dreams and nightmares. Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong, or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit. No, it's not what it looks like. I swear. I wasn't going to hurt you. I just needed, well, blood.
There, in the dim firelight, you see him for what he really is. A vampire, a slave to sanguine hunger.
It's not what you think. I'm not some monster. I feed on animals. Boars, deer, kobolds, whatever I can get. I'm just too slow right now. Too weak. If I just had a little blood, I could think clearer, fight better. Please.
A strange sensation courses through you, and your companion's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
At best, I was sure you'd say no. More likely, you'd ram a stake through my ribs. No. I needed you to trust me. And you can trust me. Thank you. Do you think you could trust me just a little further? I only need a taste. I swear. Really? Of course. Not one drop more. Let's make ourselves comfortable, shall we?
It's like a shard of ice into your neck, a quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens. You lean into him, losing yourself. You can feel your blood racing, coursing through both your bodies. A gentle, numb feeling starts to spread.
Of course. I was just swept up in the moment. But it worked. I feel good. Strong. Happy. But I didn't. And that's what matters. And look what you've gained. Together, we can take on the world. Shouldn't take long. So many people need killing. Now, if you'll excuse me, you're invigorating, but I need something more filling. This is a gift, you know. I won't forget it.
You watch as he stalks towards the forest, stronger, more confident, ready to hunt.
Glad to have an ally.
Good morning. How do you feel? Be grateful I'm not a true vampire, then. A bite from them and you might wake up as a vampire spawn, like my good self. All of a vampire's hunger, but few of their powers. Oh no, I should be cinders in this light. I hadn't seen the sun for 200 years before we crashed here. Someone, or something, wants me alive. They've changed the rules. Standing in the sun, wading through a river, wandering into homes without an invitation. They're all perfectly mundane activities now. As for my other quirks, well, we can figure those out in time. You're such a sweetheart. I'm just glad you're being sensible about these revelations. I was worried people might turn up with torches and pitchforks. Although there's still time.
Hunting with vampires. Never thought I'd see the day. Very well, but I'm keeping an eye on you. And no wisecracks about having us for supper.
Oh, and a quick word of warning, Astarion. I taste absolutely awful. Keep your distance.
Quite the opposite. I'm here in the spirit of openness and honesty, to work together as a team.
I'd just better not wake with any holes in my neck.
There now. We're all friends again. Shall we go? There's a long day ahead of us. Now that you know what I am, I should tell you that Cazador was more than just a slaver. I don't want to say a damned thing, but that won't do anyone any good. Cazador Szar is a vampire lord in Baldur's Gate, the patriarch of his coven, and a monster obsessed with power. Not political power or military power, I mean power over people. The power to control them completely. He turned me nearly 200 years ago. I became his spawn, and he became my tormentor. A vampire's spawn is less than a slave. They're a puppet. We have no choice but to obey our master's commands. They speak, and our bodies react. It's all part of the deal. Sometimes he'd order us to submit to torture. Sometimes he'd have us torture ourselves. Whatever his weather-vane mood settled on. Thank you. But this isn't about sympathy. It's about knowing what we might be up against. The Mind Flayers aren't the only monsters out there. They're not even the only ones hunting us. All I'm asking is that you keep your eyes open and watch out for anything lurking in the shadows. What more could I ask? Now, is that all? It's simple. Just find a vampire that will drink your blood and turn you into a vampire spawn. Their obedient puppet. In theory, the next step is to drink their blood. Once you've done that, you're free and a true vampire. Free and a true vampire, capable of creating my own coven. Yes. Although, I'd settle for just killing the bastard. I wouldn't be a true vampire, but I'd be free of him.
Speak.
Well met.
Go ahead. I'm listening. We all have our burdens, one way or the other.
With haste.
May the darkness protect you. Fine. What's on your mind?